So the takeaways that I got from the debate last night for the progressives and the Mick resistance candidate, Kathie Allen, with the progressive grassroots candidates, Carl Ingwel and Ben Frank, is that Ben and Carl really want people to understand that they are grassroots. They understand what comes from working class families. Ben in particular has been campaigning down in Carbon County. I'm not as hip to Carl's campaign as I am to Ben's, but for Ben it's very important for him to be around the working class, the blue collar in Utah. I suspect he had a lot to do with the debate being in Helper, Utah. Part of what I gather from the debate is when the question came up, what are you going to do for environmentalism? Kathie Allen talked about how she's got solar panels and drives an electric car. I'm sure that resonates quite well with the working poor in Helper, Utah. So while I get that, yes, there are things that we can do on an individual level. Solar panels are one. Not everyone is in a position to be able to have a long-term investment to get solar panels. Not everyone's in a position to buy an electric car. I don't know. I feel like I'm far more aware of progressive environmentalism as a mayoral candidate. Hell, I want to build our roads out of plastic. I want to use that plastic from Boomy McBoomface from the North Seas. I want to. I believe there was in Missouri there were roads that were also had solar panels in them. For the roads that we can't get made out of plastic, get some solar panels. The light lights up. There's lights in the solar panels that light up if there's any sort of pressure on them. So if a deer is standing on the solar panels, it's actually going to light up. So from a long distance away, you're going to see a hazard in front of you so you don't wreck into it. And there's just a lot of things. Hell, let's fight terrorism. Let's fight terrorism using solar panels, using wind, using geothermal, using tidal. And you say, well, Josh, that sounds like you're a crazy person. How the hell are you going to fight terrorism using solar panels? Well, tell you what, terrorists make their money through oil. Saudi Arabia, the #1 terrorist financing country in the world, financing Sunni terrorism like ISIS. Well, guess where they get their money? They get their money from oil. So what happens if we make oil obsolete? What happens if we get 100% renewables? Oil is obsolete. We have energy independence, which is very important to people like me, very important to a lot of libertarians, a lot of Republicans, and then you also get energy security. We're no longer creating our own worst enemies. We're no longer funding our own worst enemies, and we're no longer making things far worse in the Middle East, in Northern Africa, and I just see that as a better way. As a better way to run our energy system, a better way to run the world. You want to make America great, annihilate terrorism by pulling their monetary rug out from underneath their feet. So, yeah, these are the things that I want to see our candidates talk about. This is something I've heard Ben Frank talk about. I know these are ideas that Carl Ingwel likes, but Kathie Allen, I think she's still stuck on the Mick resistance. I'm part of the resistance, yay! But anyway, thanks guys.